So we have the retain ratio I can show our viewers, which gives you a sense of where these leads are coming from and where these parties are trailing. So out of the 62 seats the AAP won in the last election, we currently have leads for 33. AAP is leading on 15 of those and trailing on 18, which means 55% seats which AAP won in the last election, they are currently trailing on. That's terrible. If it's as bad as that, it's very difficult to come up where more than 50% of the seats which you won last time, you're now trailing on. Let's look at the retained ratio for the Bharatiya Janata Party. They had 8 seats last time. We've got leads from 2. They're currently leading on both those seats. After this, let's take a look at the strike rate of the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress. The AAP has a strike rate currently of 49%, so clearly not batting in T20 style. The BJP too has a strike rate at this moment of only 49%. The Congress's strike rate is just 3%. So that's really the way it's looking. And as far as direct fights are concerned, it's really more between the BJP and the AAP. The Congress really... and the role of the Congress, Rajdeep, is about how much of a spoiler can they be. They're not in this battle. And remember, in the 2009 Lok Sabha elections, the Congress had 57% vote share. Would you believe that? 2009, 57% vote share. From there, now to 4.65, that's the base. And just in a matter of 15 years, from 57 to 4.5.
Rahul, the Congress will be a factor in this election only if they enter double digits in vote share. Anything below that, at best, they may nibble away in a few constituencies, Okla here, Mustafabad there, Balli Maran. 3 or 4 constituencies where they have Badli was mentioned. There are about half a dozen constituencies. But you see, it's not going to... I don't think it's going to change this election unless it becomes seat by seat.
But Rajdeep, look at this. Even 8%, if Congress gets, some exit polls are saying, you add that potentially with an Aam Aadmi Party at 42.
No, but they will cut into BJP votes also.
I do agree.
They will cut into BJP votes also.
You see, that's the thing.
They cut into BJP votes also. It is not that, black and white.
So who...
No, what is worrying for BJP right now
I'll give you Nangloija.
No.
Badli.
What is worrying for BJP right now is the Shakur Basti seat, which Satinder Jain is leading despite being in jail for 2 years, it has 57% Punjabi Vanya votes, 57% Punjabi Vanya votes. And if on this seat, the Mandir Prakosh in charge of BJP, Karnail Singh, who is contesting on BJP ticket, if he is trailing, it's it's not a very good news for the BJP.
Okay, Neoma Gupta joins us from the Bharatiya Janata Party. 27 years of political exile. Do you think the BJP's exile in the national capital, Neoma, is finally about to come to a close? The BJP is leading in the initial votes that have been counted, but the AAP is snapping at its heels.
Good morning. It's looking good. And I think the double exile is definitely going to end because it's... Can you hear?
I hear you well, Neoma. Go on.
Double exile is definitely going to end because... Okay, so because I think this time people of Delhi were frustrated with the basic infrastructure collapsing. There was lack of amenities. In fact, everybody on all the channels are talking about different sections of society. For me, I think it's more of a generic view because there was bad air, there was bad water, the roads were in deplorable conditions. So this time people have not voted for change, but they've actually voted to sustain the fact that we are staying in the national capital of the country and the condition is absolutely pathetic. So seeing that, so far the trends are showing literally BJP ahead, but this time people of Delhi have definitely voted for a positive outcome to restore Delhi back to its lost glory and make it a city noteworthy.
And that really was a factor experienced during this election. A lot of people, particularly different sections of the middle class, were remembering Sheila Dikshit, the slightly older people, that, we were proud of the fact that we used to live in Delhi. Look at the kind of infrastructure we got. He's turned it into a giant urban slum. So there was that element as it doesn't mean that they'll vote for the Congress, but the fact that they were longing for the good old days of what Delhi used to be when it had a certain privilege in terms of infrastructure during the Commonwealth Games, all that got built up. So there was that clamoring for what's happening now in Mumbai, your city. Look at the kind of roads that are being built. In a few years, if Fadnavis keeps doing what he's doing and if Kejriwal wins again, Mumbai and Delhi will be similar in terms of urban infrastructure.
There is little doubt that the multiplicity of authorities in Delhi make Delhi very difficult to govern unless you have clarity as to who is in charge of what. You're right, the Sheila Dikshit years, I think Sheila Dikshit's big achievement was she was able to work with the centre. But don't forget the first 6 years of her rule, she had Atal Bihari Vajpayee, someone who by nature was a consensual leader. Because of the past acrimony between Narendra Modi ji and Arvind Kejriwal, it was never going to work. And that was, unfortunately, something that Delhi people may regret. The politics of negativism, as they call it, on both sides. Both sides just didn't want to work with each other.
But does the voter care? The voter wants his life to get better. Kejriwal can't get along with the PM. It's really Kejriwal's problem.
My point is he did give Kejriwal, therefore, even a renewed mandate in 2020. But a point has been reached where it's, I think there's anger over garbage collection, over sewage. I thought it was very interesting. One of the exit polls said, issue number 1 or 2 was garbage collection. So you've got issues on the ground that have piled up literally over the years.
But Rajdeep, what I said earlier, this stems from the fact that the MCD is not performing, and MCD has been the Achilles heel for the Aam Aadmi Party in this election.
The biggest issue with Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, if you look at the data of past several years, in last 5 years, 74 days of Vidhan Sabha. Just 20 bills passed. 20 bills, with 10 bills are of their increment of salary of the MLAs. What work you are doing for Delhi? Look at his attendance at Players Building, where Sheila would be visiting every day and attending to files, meeting officers and everybody.
But
he never did all of that. He never attended office.
The last 5 years hasn't been easy for the Aam Aadmi Party. You've had COVID. You've had most of their leadership in jail.
But COVID was an opportunity for them. COVID was an opportunity for them to rise, take up the challenge and deliver on that.
But COVID was not for the Aam Aadmi Party alone. COVID was for the whole world. What a sloppy, lazy excuse for misgovernance. The laziest, sloppiest excuse for misgovernance. COVID was as much for Yogi Adityanath as it is for Madhya Pradesh. Not showing up because there was COVID is just the most ridiculous excuse. It's the most ridiculous excuse for the Aam Aadmi Party and its supporters to blame COVID for misgovernance. It's just pathetic. It's just pathetic, completely pathetic.
It's not about COVID. You're misconstruing it. It's about attendance. It is about attendance.
Lower. Let's lower the voice so everybody gets a chance.
Throughout the election, they were saying that we have laid down 6,000 kilometers of pipes.
Where are they?
Where are they? 6,000 kilometers. आप पूरा भारत का नक्शा 3 बार नाप सकते हैं उसमें. Where are the 6? And on top of that, they said 10,000 kilometers of road.
इतनी रोड ही नहीं है दिल्ली में. Rajat, the Aam Aadmi Party went into this election on the first term.
अरे भाई डेटा तो सही बोलो.
They did not do any work in the second term for whatever reasons.
6,000 kilometers. You are rubbing into the face of the people. You are saying 6,000 kilometers. लोगों का नाला में पैर गिर रहा है आके.
The BJP should send a thank you note to the Aam Aadmi Party for winning MCD.